which are you? It's a question we all get asked, and one that can feel surprisingly limiting. What if your magic doesn't fit neatly into a single box? Hi, I'm Dragon, the ceremonial witch through and through, and I find my power in structure, symbolism, and ancient rituals.
And I'm Astara. My magic is elemental. It speaks through the rumble of thunder and the solidity of stone. For me, the natural world is the grimoire.
And I'm Nebula. My magic is very chaotic and sporadic, but that's kind of just how I roll.
Tonight, we're here exploring the different types of witches. From green witches to cosmic witches, sea witches to tech witches. It isn't about finding your one true label.
It's about discovering new tools, hearing the rhythm for a spell you've cast 100 times. It's about seeing the countless ways there are to speak the language of the universe.
And it's about finding new paths to follow as you go on your exploration of finding what label does suit you, if any.
So, whether you're a storm witch, a crystal witch, a divination witch, or something entirely your own, join us. We might just find a new piece of your magic. Your practice is your own unique tapestry, and every path offers a new thread. Let's explore the map of the craft.
Woo!
So, I guess we should probably start off with our own types. And we recently had Nebula discover something very important about hers.
Well, I think you should back up a little bit and say that these two, Dragon and Ostara, had a conversation apparently beforehand that I was not privy to whatsoever. Like, I had nothing.
Yeah, no, it was funny. We were literally just talking about this podcast when it had actually, I had just mentioned for part of our script an ad-lib of how Nebula would kind of be considered a craft witch. Even though it is witchcraft, it's still, they use a lot of their hands. Lo and behold, last night we were talking and I had a revelation of, maybe I'm a witch who uses crafts and put magic into the crafts that I make for other people based off of the meaning of the gift. And so I had to ask, so when did you think about this? What made this come up?
And actually it started, I think, a year or two ago, where one of these two mentioned it just very passingly when we first started doing witchcraft, and then I kind of thought about it again because, fun fact, I've been doing a lot of crocheting lately, and there's this past month entirely or something, I have just been having no energy to do anything whatsoever, and I think I might have drained myself.
Yeah, accidental draining from craft.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, you have been crocheting your life away whenever you had free time, so and until this last week, I want to say.
Yeah, which is bad because I really really have to get that gift done.
I feel that. Take your time.
That's a mood.
No, I have a deadline I need to make.
So then what I should say is use your magic sparingly.
I didn't even know I was doing it, man.
I mean, you did, though, because the gift that you're giving to your brother and his wife for their wedding aren't you putting in magic into the crochet? You told me that you were trying to infuse it with, prosperity and health and everything.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yeah, as you were, crocheting something.
I completely forgot about saying that.
So I see why you nuked yourself.
Yeah. Ma'am said it and then forgot.
Yeah, I did.
No, but I get it. Well, because, so on this end, I'm a big fan of intentional crafting when it comes to witchcraft, for the mere reason of when it comes to that subconscious, it can get into that law of attraction thought, and that can be a double-edged sword in making it be if you have negative thoughts or subconscious negative intention, then that's going to come back to you, and that makes it very, very weird. So,
which is definitely not something that we believe in. you can have negative thoughts. That's a part of being human.
Right.
Like, you're going to have those shitty thoughts at 12 a.m. going, hey, you're an awful person. And those aren't true. Those aren't something that you should actually put any stock in. The law of attraction, to me at least, is when you're actually putting in the effort for the thing that you're attracting. Like
Right.
putting the words of, I want to attract wealth into my life and I want to attract love into my life. That's what I see as the law of attraction.
So you see it more as like a spoken thing kind of deal?
Spoken or given, like you have to at least give an offering, or maybe, probably, I don't know. But like
Fair.
putting in the effort, like I'm not going to gain a job if I'm not doing the work to gain a job. I can say, oh, I can gain a job. I will gain a job for whatever I want. Yeah, I can say that as much as I want, but if I'm not putting the effort into it, then what's the return going to be?
You can say you're going to get a job, but if you're not applying for jobs, then how are you supposed to get one? That kind of thought process. Well, so then I would say that my brain comes back to like that intention part of like you are putting intention into it, because when it comes to gifts and stuff, you are putting that intention and that care into things. You know, you're putting that like want to give them something good anyways. Like even if that counts as subconscious, it's because you're making something for another person. I feel like that's innately magical and connecting in some way, you know.
No, I would agree, yeah.
So
But back into the different types of witches.
right.
Yeah, so newly labeled craft a witch over here, so
Which, going into crafting witchcraft, just from what I remember of it, because it's not a full part of this episode.
no, it's just a portion or
We only have a very limited amount of what types there
There's
are.
only
because
there's
there's
only so many. There's only so many types that we're going to touch on today.
yeah.
So crafting witches, they tend to use textiles or fiber arts in order to infuse those or make sigils with, and they use them as a part of their craft. Yes.
So we really should have known from how I got into sigils then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say that it's just thread. It's like
Fiber
see
arts.
I see it in the. Is that what it's called? Like just using your hands for stuff? That's called fiber?
Fiber arts is anything that is related to fiber, like fabric. I technically would be a fiber artist, like fabric, yarn,
Clay.
clay. No, I don't think clay.
Really?
No, clay is not a part of the fiber.
Is fiber arts more of like the clothing line?
Yeah,
like
because it's
quote
from
unquote?
fiber. It's like animal fiber.
Then yeah, I wouldn't say that craft witch would just be fiber arts then. But that's
No, not
that's also
fully.
my personal opinion, because from what I've seen, it's so like using crochet and putting that stuff. It's when you're making something with your hands and putting magic into it. That's what I kind of see witchcraft as, and that's what you kind of do accidentally all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
You could also put it into your art, you know? My favorite thing that I saw forever ago was putting like sigils in an art piece and then painting over it.
Yes. Anyway, so with the crafting art, what other witchcrafts are there?
So we're going to start off with one of the most known, probably, and then we're going to work our way down. So one of our most known types of witchcraft is green witchcraft. This is where a lot of witches fall.
Good old green.
But so they tend to be in like the deep, intimate connection with the earth, the plants, and the different herbs that they work with. And they tend to practice herbalism, gardening, creating potions, probably salves and tinctures. But so they tend to have their altars like as a gardener's shelf, or honestly, they tend to make their whole gardens their altar usually.
Yeah, you could do like garden gnome. I have a friend who used to do a lot of like fairy gardens to build them. Got to be careful with the fae. Depends on the type of bloodline you're from.
Scare me.
Yeah, but my friend really loved building like that kind of garden shit.
I, throughout my entire life, have had a fairy collection and a fairy garden. I'm
We
not
know.
even gonna lie.
You get to have a fairy garden?
Yeah, I had, me and my mom actually built one from like rocks and barbed wire
Oh, that's pretty
for
cool.
our old house. And then at our new house, she they literally gave me a section of the garden to decorate as a fairy garden that I think, oh, that's a connection. So when my ex-stepdad was around, one of the things he did was one of the gardeners that he hired ripped up my entire fairy garden and like practically destroyed it.
Oh my God.
Fuck that bitch.
I think they
That
got
is
what
not-
was coming from to them, because like after that moment, that was like, I think right before he got kicked out.
Wow.
Damn.
I think they also were the reasons why we kept our house, now that I think about it.
The house and the fairies did not appreciate that.
No.
That's amazing.
But so you might think,
So,
you
yeah.
might see yourself as a green witch if you're called to the garden and love playing in dirt and have your leaves in your pockets.
Yeah, well, and also you can collect, you can have herbs. You can also grow like tomatoes and fruits and vegetables. You could use actual flowers. You know, green witchcraft, it dives into that kind of like herbalism and gardening, you know, and putting your spells and your intention into that. A lot of times I found that finding what type of witch you are is really just finding what you're also good at and what works for you. Mm-hmm. Like, I loved dabbling in gardening, but it is definitely not my main type.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it's kind of like what hobbies you're drawn to, in a sense.
Right, because then you can put magic into that.
Yep.
That actually is very interesting. That could be a good, like, look at what hobbies you have. Put magic into that.
Because I mean, that's how I started figuring out I'm a crafting witch. You started figuring out you're an elemental witch, and
I want to be a priest.
Yeah.
yep.
Anyways, going on. So, going hand in hand with green witchery, we also have kitchen witchcraft, which they kind of play together.
They do.
Usually green witches have a tendency to be like kitchen witches as well. And that just goes into the fact of you can combine a lot of these elements into your craft.
Well, and I think that kitchen witchcraft also kind of dives more so into that like hominess witch
It's
versus
definitely the
green-
hearth.
Yeah, versus green witchcraft, which might dive into more that outside witch. Does that make sense?
So you kind of have the outside witch and the inside witch.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of,
You got the green witch who likes to go and gather all of the shit. Then you have the kitchen witch that likes to make all of the things with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the miner and the builder in Minecraft.
Ha.
So as we talked, the kitchen witches, they focus their magic on everyday acts like cooking and homemaking. They tend to usually have a hearth as well. They love practicing to stir with intentions in their soups and baking blessings into bread, brewing their teas for specific outcomes.
I can actually say, like, even not as a kitchen witch, it is so fun to do this sometimes.
No, that's
like when
valid.
you're making the potpourri, or when we're making like fun like mac and cheese or something, just stirring it.
The chicken scampi.
Ooh, I should try that next time.
That would be a smart one.
But I'm very excited because speaking of kitchen witchery, for Samhain, I'm gonna make toad bread.
Yes.
I saw it on a video last night. I am so excited to make this thing.
That video you were watching, I was like, what is happening? Because I was just getting the like audio of it, and
Yeah.
I was like so confused.
Cut
I
him
have
up
not
to
even
make his
seen-
legs.
I have not seen anything for this toad bread, and I am very confused, but I'm excited.
You should be confused.
It's actually quite funny because I liked the bread making part, but I did not care for this man's side points.
Oh, that's a mood.
I was like, okay, buddy, get back to the bread.
You know what I should also do?
Mm.
I should try putting magic into pollo.
Ooh.
Do it.
That'd be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
But yeah.
so you might see yourself as a kitchen witch if your hands are constantly covered in flour and you
No
tend
kidding.
to love your kitchen just a little bit more than the rest of your house.
How many things do you make on a week average, you know? And can you put magic into that?
Basically,
Probably
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
But the next one, we have a resident learning expert.
Hello. We're doing ceremonial witchcraft. So this falls under mine. And as I said, as I said before, I want to be a priest, right? Ceremonial witchcraft is kind of like the witchcraft version of priest and pastor kind of.
Yeah, like you're looking more so at like those priestesses, that the ones that do like the training for it and everything.
Yep. So we have like structured rituals, symbolism, and often you invoke things with specific deities, angels, or spirits for established systems. Another thing that not a lot of people talk about with ceremonial witchcraft is through our parties, I do a lot of the
Hosting?
party atmosphere. Yeah, the hosting energy of that. So a lot of my ceremonial craft comes in with my hosting, where I make sure that the environment and the atmosphere and the connections are going to be genuine and comfortable.
Me too.
Because especially nowadays, a lot of times people don't put the effort in that is necessary with hosting.
Kidding.
Like, I feel like we've lost a lot of that, making sure people are safe, comfortable, and happy.
Being a good host and hospitable host.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that a lot of the like quote unquote rules of hosting have been lost. And those rules are to, as we said, make sure everybody's having a safe time, having comfortable and having fun at a host. Like you can really tell the difference between a hosted party and a hosted party.
Between a hosted party and a I threw this together party.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, it doesn't matter how much you plan or if you actually get all the stuff that you need for this. It all comes down to, like, if you can actually pull that energy
How
together.
do you host? How do you lead the party?
Yeah, how do you direct the energy of the party?
Right.
How do you deal with the dead zones of the party? Like, how do you work with all that?
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of my ceremonial magic comes from, as well as creating very detailed rituals that I'm starting to do more and more of, because
Yeah, you like your rituals.
No kidding. Well, and I think that this is also where like prayers and kind of like that structured magic usage comes from, you know, or at least it can fall into. I'm not much of a praying person, but I do like not simple
Structure,
but yeah, I like my structure in some ways, but I really like the simple spells, like what we did for Mabon, which was just like the, you know, it's not a long one, but I like it.
Yeah, you like the simplicity. I get you.
yeah, I've actually been reading a book. It's called Pagan Prayer and Ritual.
Yes.
Freaking love this book, and I've only just gotten to chapter 2, and I am so excited. We just went over sacrifices and offerings, which was already very eye-opening, and now I'm going to be going into the structure of prayer, and so I'm very excited to start diving more and more into my craft as a ceremonial witch.
Would you happen to know the authors off the top of your head?
I don't, unfortunately.
Okay, then it'll be in the About Me in the YouTube video.
Yep.
But also another thing that you've been taken to doing is incorporating our mythology into your language, I think. That kind of like, I think, goes in hand with that because it's a structure. It's a
using
thing.
deities,
Right.
using your system.
Well, for me, now we already have curse words, right? We have Jesus fucking Christ, all that sort of stuff, right? Fucking hell. And for me, like, I don't believe in those systems, so
It's kind of just what you've
it's
grown
just a
to
curse
say.
word that I say, right? But so now I'm starting to say, instead of Jesus fucking Christ, I'll be like, Nessie, god damn it.
Yep.
Or one of my favorites, fucking to Luke.
Ooh, I like how that sounds. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right? But so, like,
It's
pulling
good.
that more into my
Apologies for all the cursing in that one bit, but there we go.
Yep.
It was to make a point.
Moving on to Astara's genre.
Yes.
Yeah, so this one's about elemental witchcraft, which has kind of been something that I've kind of recently kind of found and that I still like really like to work with. I'm a very nature person, so along with the green witchcraft, I like I like to see all the intricacies of the nature of the outside. So the focus of elemental witchcraft is to work directly with those like 4 to 5 elements of air, water, fire, earth, and finally spirit, of course. And I really like how they all play together and kind of mix together. Like I love air when you get to like feel the breeze in your hair and on your face. I love it. It's so just like magical to me. Like it's such like a universe intention type thing that I love it.
Why do you think I like laying in a hammock so much? It's so nice.
Yeah, it like helps. It's so how I view the elements is like a helper and a connector to like the universe and the magical world and everything that it entails, the mundane and the magical. So sometimes how you can practice this is channeling the raw power of some of the elements, you know, like using storms, which is air and fire, or crafting with crystals and soil, which we use earth a lot. So there's a lot that you can actually do with the elements that normally they all have associations with them as well, like fire being bold, being, you know, out there, being confident. So you can use like you can ask fire or work with fire to kind of like build up your confidence and self-esteem and that bigness that is in you. So.
And don't they like, isn't there like talk to fire if you want it to burn or
I'm
like go
literally
quickly?
looking this up really quick.
There is one TikTok that I really, really love, and it's always about like if you're feeling this or like if you feel powerless, talk to the sun.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're not loved, talk to the moon. Like I really love how that TikTok video goes.
No, that's so
I love how it says stuff, and I'm like, because it's true. Like that's what these elements are here. That's what they can help teach you. Like if you're struggling with change, talk to water. It ebbs and flows continuously.
No, that's so true. And with that, you also have the pentagram, where if you look at the alchemic symbols for each of the elements.
You mean what it was originally meant for?
Yeah. They have the pentagram representing each of those elements coming together, and that's why the pentagram in some cases is such a powerful tool to use at times, even though it has been commercialized.
Yeah, no kidding. I remember you talking about how you kind of showed me where it's like if the pentacle is right side up or upside down, that can kind of, for you, it at least changes the channel of where all of those 5 elements are going. Is it coming to you or is it...
Yeah, so what Astara is referring to here is with the pentacle it's a 5-star. It's not even whatsoever. So there is technically an upside down and right side up way, putting it in quotation marks here.
Right, like there's a point.
Right, and so I have always seen that point as being like spirit, and that's like the self.
I'm pretty sure that is what the point is meant to be. Like the top point is meant to be spirit, and then the 2 side points are the 4 elements.
Right, and so depending on how you rotate that star, kind of changes whether it's your spirit above elements or like elements above spirit kind of deal. Yeah. Depending on what you want to do or what you want to like channel with it.
Yeah, so I really love elemental witchcraft.
Yep.
Or should I say just the elements in general? Because I feel like it also connects us to the mundane part of that magic and like makes it more special in a sense. So
it's also a lot more tangible, I think.
Yeah, kind of. Are you still searching up?
I am still searching and it's not working. So
isn't it like ask fire, ask water, ask air?
Yeah, but I'm trying to find the specific post. I know it's on Pinterest. I just keep scrolling.
So wait, what? Like, are you looking for your own version of like the?
No, it's a whole post where it's if you want something done quickly, you ask fire. If you want stability, you ask earth. If you want, I can't fully remember, but I need to freaking find this post. Oh my god. Anyways, we'll move on though for now.
Yeah, kind of connect. Oh, I do have my TikTok video that could help.
Send it to the Discord and we'll put it in the description.
Yeah, because I could also just say what the words are really quick.
Oh, go for it.
When you feel attached, tell it to fire. He is the great master of transmutation.
I like that.
When you feel stagnant, tell water. She will teach you about movement and flow. When you understand nothing, speak to air. It will teach you It will bring you to the here and now, and clarity will come. If you want to give it up, talk to Mother Earth. She knows a thing or two about death and rebirth. When you feel like your heart is broken, talk to the moon. She will shine a light into the darkness. And then, of course, with the sun, it's the if you feel powerless, speak to the sun. He will reignite your strength with his warm, unconditional love.
Okay, I like that one more, honestly.
I
like that.
I really love that TikTok video. I love it so much.
You should send it.
It is one of my favorite kind of references when it comes to the elements.
No, that's valid.
So I'm kind of connected to elemental witchcraft, just more in the
Specific?
cosmic sense.
Right.
Pun intended.
Is cosmic witchcraft.
Which, are any of us really a cosmic witch? Or?
No, not really.
I would definitely say that I love the stars, but that's why I have to say that it's connected to like elemental for me, is that it's like, I just love the universe.
Yeah.
Speaking of stars, you have to send me that app that you used last night to like look where the constellations are, because I loved that.
Yeah, Skyview Light, because it'll also tell you like where it's going in orbit and stuff.
Yeah, and so yeah, I would not say I'm a cosmic witch, but I do really like astrology in general, and I think it can teach us a lot.
Cosmic witches, I would say, kind of fall as astrology witches, is what I would say.
Right.
Because
Okay.
you're working with the cosmos, the stars, the planetaries, the astrology of it all. Like, you're looking at it all in the universe, right?
Yeah.
Like, the timing of your spells, you'll usually be really... working on the hours, the moon phases, and working all of that energy into your spell work. Yes.
So would they be very punctual?
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, so speaking of like astrologers, there's one there's like an astrologer witch that I know on TikTok that I really like her interpretations and videos of. I can't say her like actual name right, but her is like Vorder Art, and so she has very long videos about astrology, but it's because she knows so much about it. So I think that like while astrology has kind of become kind of like this thing to have fun, and it is just like a lot of meanings that are associated with things once again, but I think that if you use that, then you can actually like have results for things. You know?
When you actually have the right timing
Right.
to channel it with things.
Like it is observing how everything else is moving that is around the earth. So it kind of makes sense that it'll have some sort of pull with the earth.
I'm totally not checking CoStar right now. Oh, look, my jokes are your form of genius. Oh, look at me.
Oh, lucky
Anyways.
you. Hold on. Now you got me curious.
Yeah, but so cosmic witchcraft, it is kind of those astrologers, or they more so just have that focus when it comes to the cosmos, stars, and planets. I really love when the TikToks come up, depending on the astrologer, to just find out what it is. But yeah, so they seem to do.
Moving on into the ocean, we have sea witches, which there are a couple kinds of witches that I don't fuck with, and one of them is sea witches, okay? They terrify me.
If I had more time with the ocean, I might have became a sea witch in a sense.
Well, sea witches, they talk to the spirits of the water, and if they feed your name to a siren, you're dead.
Man.
Ooh, I'm curious now. I may have to do some more research.
Right, I
into
was like,
this.
I'm gonna look into that actually. But no, like I do love sea witches. They're so cool.
Oh, I love them. I'm just terrified.
Right. You have a respect and fear for them.
My
I feel like
mother might be a sea witch.
I feel like certain
could
witches
see that.
deserve that reverence of...
Oh yeah, no, you don't fuck with sea witches.
Yeah. Well, she'd either be like a sea witch or something to do with like her horses.
Well, no, so the reason why I say she may be a sea witch is because when we were on vacations a lot, one of the like main activities we would do with her is taking old pieces of driftwood and seashells we find on the beach and making decorations out of them.
Wow. Yeah, no, she's totally an unknowing sea witch. That could
100%.
definitely be there.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing of sea witches is like they use the seawater, seashells, sand, and driftwood in their spells, and
Yeah.
their magic is tied to the tides.
I
and
would
the moon
really-
and the mysteries of the deep.
Yeah, I would really love to like use sand in a spell sometime because
No,
I
that's
feel
valid.
like that's like a good thing to use.
Would like colored sand be like, you know, those jars of colored sand and
Yeah.
those like little containers that you would like pour them in to make designs and stuff
Yeah,
in?
like the black sand on Iceland.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, but
Colored. you know?
yeah.
You're talking about kinetic sand, yeah.
No, it's a craft where you have these like jars of colored sand and these like little like, we used keychains, but they were like a little hollowed out like keychain of like a dolphin or something, and you would
Oh, I
pour
know
the
what you're talking
sand
about.
into those
Yeah.
containers to like make cool designs with the sand in the containers.
Huh. Okay, so the more you
Yeah,
know.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did it for a birthday on the beach once.
Okay, that's actually pretty
pretty
fun.
cool.
You get to make your own mold with sand.
Essentially, it was
That kind
really
of does
fun.
remind me of kinetic sand. You're not wrong. Or like
No,
whatever
you're not
whatever the
wrong.
play sand is. I never got to actually play with the play sand, and I'm very sad about that.
I never got to play with
I
kinetic
feel like
sand either.
I feel like it'd actually be very fun to touch and play with. I will
I'm
lie.
not a sand fan, so no thank you,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So, well, like, but it doesn't. It's not supposed. It's a different texture entirely. Like even though they call it sand, it
Yeah,
still
no, it-
looks very different.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So-
that's fair. But like, so there's actually someone that I follow on TikTok who's a sea witch and a
Ooh.
draconic witch.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You may have to send me that because I'm very
I love her.
intrigued.
Yeah,
Her
find
content
the
is
handle.
She was one of the first witches that I followed, and she's pretty cool. But she's one of the two that I don't fuck with, right? But even though I am a draconic witch, so I am one of the ones that I don't even fuck with myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Anyways.
Do you know the handle or?
I don't know the handle right off the bat, but
Darn it.
description in the YouTube, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget to actually put them in the description.
Right.
I won't, thank you.
We could just put the handle on the screen too. We'll be like, this is that sea and draconic witch. There you go.
No kidding.
So moving on, we have the opposite of the sea witch. We have the hearth witch, which kind of goes into kitchen witchery. They're very similar.
Yeah, what I was about to say is that as you can see through these labels, there's actually a lot of types that have connected to each other or like have similarities.
There's a lot of overlap with them, is
Right.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you're probably going to dabble in a little bit of everything unless you genuinely dislike and don't want to use it.
Right.
So it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected.
Oh my
It's all
God.
connected.
This is the key of this is more so paganism, but this is the key of it's all connected, and you just it's all connected.
It's so
And
fun.
The more you research and more you look into this kind of thing, you really see just how connected everything is to each other.
So, with hearth magic and hearth witchcraft, right, you're focusing again on the home this time with more creating of the sacred space and protected spaces. So, without it, so kitchen witches, I would say, is more specialized to the kitchen. This is more the whole of the home.
Right.
Right.
This is instead of just like instead of focusing more so on baked goods and cooking and using the herbs in there, this is more so focusing on cleaning the house and putting intention behind that.
House
or
blessings.
setting up the house for decorations. I probably do quite a bit of this, but that's because it involves the home.
Well, again, a lot of these parts witches just do as a part of their practice, right?
Listen, you can make the mundane magical.
I definitely would say that this is more of a you guys area than it is mine.
No,
Yeah,
that's valid.
I would agree.
I'm
I
not
would
even
agree.
gonna delusion
You
myself
just
into
have a
that.
disconnect with the home there.
No kidding.
You'll find a way. You'll find a way. You'll find something that works for you.
Yeah, and we're starting to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now onto one that not a lot of
Well,
people know
hold
about.
on.
More
There's
into the
more?
hearth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so part of hearth witchcraft, what you can do is one, you can use like protective sprays and cleansing the home.
What you love.
Two, this is probably something that falls a lot more into hearth witchcraft that I don't do, which is talking to the home and
Ooh.
I do that a
like
lot.
yeah, like making the home kind of like in quotes a personification, you know, because it's kind of like awakening the home and making sure that it could. That's probably where hearth witchcraft is like at its core because it's about the home. So while I don't do it that often, I do appreciate the home.
Doesn't that go into the whole thing with like house spirits and things? Like
Yeah.
waking up the house spirit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Most house spirits are asleep, but usually if you're a practicing witch, you can figure out how to wake
Right.
them back up. We did that to our home.
Oh my gosh, I love our home.
I definitely think my mom's home, that that spirit is definitely awake, and I think it's older than we realize.
I would not be surprised, but you should also look into where it was built, because maybe it's more so the land that it's on.
Yeah, that's what I was more so referring to.
Right.
Because it could be a land spirit that morphed into a home spirit.
That's what I'm thinking it is.
Well, especially with all those acres, it would make sense that it kind of stays as like a land, and that's why it has that more wild energy.
Mm-hmm.
But so moving on, we have one of the lesser known and not really thought about types of witchcraft, and that
Yeah.
is tech witchcraft. That is
Yeah.
right. You can use your phone for witchcraft.
Well, and especially since technology is so new, that's also probably why this one doesn't get used as often, is because you're trying to, in just witchcraft in general, we're trying to figure out how to add witchcraft into technology and how to mix the two together.
And it's not like with the new technology and everything, it's not like we have established rituals to do with it or
Right.
like established rules to follow with it. It's so new that like people are most likely creating their own rules for it.
Yeah, well, and I think that another thing about it is that especially with technology, it might be also used more so as like a tool with witchcraft.
Yeah.
For the main reason of technology is human made. It is not something that is natural like a lot of the other stuff that we talk about. Like, I mean, technically a home is also human made, so maybe that like affects it. But a lot of it is normally talking about like working with other things rather than something that has been made by us. So it's a completely different energy to learn to work with.
And honestly, tech witchcraft we tend to use in just normal witchcraft as in general, because it's like you create digital sigils or using apps to track the moon or enhance electronic devices for protection. Like you're using these, like you can use an astrology app and you're technically a techno witch.
There was this one TikTok I saw long ago, so I don't even know where it was from, but where it was somebody who was like, listening to music, trying to figure out, okay, why can't I like meditate this thing that I need, or like meditate to talk with this person that I need. And one of the like shuffled songs that came on was the Hamilton song, The Room Where It Happens.
Huh.
And so they had taken that as like, oh, I just need to make the room where it happens. I need to make the room where this conversation is to happen. So that's another way you can use technology, is with music and like asking questions and things.
Yeah. So during my beginning witchcraft, we had it where I would like, you would ask questions and then put your like musical playlist on shuffle to let the spirits make the cue. The only
musical divination.
It is so much fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
And like sometimes it doesn't make sense, of course, but other times like you have to, it's interpretation, like finding out that the room where it happens, taking that and saying, well, I need to make the room, instead of like you're being shut out from something or something like that.
I had another thought with that. Oh, basically it's like using it as a spirit box almost. There are going to be times where it doesn't make sense, and there's just going to be that time of like, you don't know what they're fucking saying.
Using it as a spirit box just with set answers.
Pretty much at this rate.
Yeah, so it also says that tech witchcraft, what you can do is code spells into existence, and I think that's pretty cool. And another thing that I just thought of is that especially if you are like a coder, like with a website, you could put some sort of sigil or protection like comment in there as you're making it. Or stuff like that.
That is fascinating.
Like I was just thinking, like in the code behind it, you could put stuff in there.
Yeah, you can put the comments that only the like developers and things are gonna see. I should put that onto our website.
We should.
That'd be really smart, actually.
But so tech witchcraft, everyone.
Yeah, no, that's so. I really need to get better. I need to learn more about website coding. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one, which is pretty much the complete opposite of techno witchcraft, we have folk witchcraft. So this is, you're diving into the roots of the land. Folklore, ancestral practices in specific regions or cultures is usually where this tends to be. A lot of time for us white folk, it's a little harder to do.
Yeah.
But there are ways, and you can look into the different practices of, now if you're an American white person, looking into your ancestral homes, like if you're Italian or Irish, there's a lot of hard work to do with the Irish because there's not a lot of documentation. But if you're determined enough,
No kidding.
Right, like you can get there. Yeah, it seems as though like folk witchcraft focuses a lot on like the things with time. Like it focuses a lot on that ancestry, which is a lot of time in the past. Or like whereas tech witchcraft might be time in the future, folk witchcraft is time in the past with the land being old normally, you know?
yeah.
It's kind of going into like the history of like your own person, your own lineage, and the things that it's connected to.
Well, not even just that, because so you can have folk witchcrafts so one of the most places that I'm going to be talking about is Appalachia. They have a lot of folk magic practitioners.
The Appalachian Mountains.
Thank you for pronouncing it the way I've heard it on the East Coast for my entire life.
But so, like, talking about the Appalachian Mountains, right, we have all the, like, people that do these, like, oh, you have witch bottles or certain tossing salt over your shoulder, or if you heard something, no, you didn't.
Yeah, no kidding.
No kidding. I had to do a lot of that at home.
Oof to that.
I forgot you lived there.
Essentially, I lived really close, and I actually hiked on the Appalachian Trail,
No, thank you.
backpacking.
No, thank you. There's a lot of
no, I'm good.
There's a lot of rules that come with like the Appalachians, or I think that there's like a lot of stuff where it's like, okay, because it's stuff that's more powerful than you a lot of times that you're dealing with. And I think that folk magic is also interesting because especially if you have like a family that actually like talks about the traditions that they do, there is so much that like you can do and learn with that, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of times it seems as though folk magic is kind of that like close-knit learned through because it has that ancestral, and so kind of it can be hard when like you're not as connected, or you come from, let's say, a Christian family and their traditions don't kind of match up with yours anymore.
And they refuse to talk about anything in the past about anybody.
True.
Yeah, what you were saying reminded me of like it's a lot of like family traditions that kind of draws especially with the Appalachian Mountains and all that, and those things, it's a lot of like your family, and it's like the local community knows a lot about it, but like if you're an outsider trying to get in, it can be hard to find that kind of information because you don't have that connection.
Yeah.
What sucks is that our family is from the Appalachian Mountains. Like our grandpa he lived and he worked there for a while until he moved here. And so we have gone to West Virginia and we have stayed out there, and every time some shit happens.
It's definitely gotten creepy before. Yeah. No, because like speaking of the Appalachian Mountains, and that's where a lot of folk witchcraft originates, that or like Native American tribes or just natives in general. With the Appalachian Mountains, I know that there's like a book, and I can't remember the book's name right now, but it is about like this one, I think, just folk practitioner who like talks about the Appalachian Mountains and also like working with the magic there. I know that he has like 2 to 3 books now, I want to say. I know one of them's like witch doctoring, and then the one that I have is different, but yeah, no, it's very interesting to have the Appalachian mountains be like, there's such a key point.
Oh yeah, and as Dragon has said, you don't fuck with the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, it just kind of brings you back to like those
something that terrifies me more than the Fae is the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, no kidding.
They scare me.
But yeah, no, it's actually very interesting because it kind of like goes back in that theory of like the magical landlines or grid lines that are like in the earth as well, where it's like this is where it's just more concentrated than over in like this direction.
It's like the hot spots almost.
Yeah.
I definitely would say that the Appalachian Mountains is a major one, because when I hiked there, now that granted this was when I was really young and not as in tune with this witchcraft area, Those woods definitely felt something.
They still feel off.
Even if you're young and you don't know witchcraft or anything like that, usually the young have a tendency to be more in tuned with the metaphysical world. Like, that's just a known fact, at least for me.
But so the funny thing is that you Dragon, you don't like the Appalachian Mountains, or like you don't want to fuck with it, right?
Oh no, I find them beautiful and I love being there. It just creeps me the fuck out and I'm not staying there past dark. Thanks, I'm going in my home.
So here's the thing. The difference is that I would always be very playful in the Appalachian Mountains. Like I would be climbing on all the rocks and like trying, like I would like go off on my own a little bit from the group and just like, oh, there's a giant rock, I'm gonna go climb that. And even at night it was like, yeah, oh, look at that star over there. It's like I want to stay out a little longer by the campfire. Like I was not afraid of those mountains whatsoever.
Yeah, you had like that kind of like playful energy with the energy that was in it. I get you.
Yeah, I really liked the energy there. It was fun.
I think that is also interesting where it's like if you keep things light, sometimes it like kind of like can uplift other things that are around you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And kids especially have that kind of power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the self-confirmation bias is that if you think it's scary, it's going to seem scarier to you.
Yeah. That also dives into cognitive behavior therapy, where it talks about where it's like if you have this an irrational, not like irrational is in the term that we've come with today, but irrational is in like things not serving your best or not serving you to like push you to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Is like you can have that kind of like irrational thought where it's like this is like I'm going to be kidnapped in this forest. Then
Right.
you might not be kidnapped, but my goodness, are you gonna like scare the shit out of yourself?
No kidding.
Yeah.
So changing it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna skip this one first and then we're gonna come back to it. But next one I wanted to talk about is one of the ones that I used to be, and that is a love witch.
Hey, it's something you still dabble in.
That
Yeah.
is true. I still do a lot of love magic, and that's just because honestly, love and the energy of it comes very natural to me and is something that I can very easily manipulate.
Well, because love is such a good emotion.
And
It is.
also, the more that I've gotten to know you, you are like the embodiment of self-love. Is what it
Yes.
seems.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're-
So we were literally talking yesterday about like unconditional self-acceptance and how I was like, my sister does that.
No, literally. So that might be why you're so like good with this, that you just constantly attract it because of just how you are with yourself.
Love is honestly, I would even say that like my magic is love for like a majority of it and how it feels and everything. It's just the overwhelming feeling of love and hope, and it's just, I don't know, I love the magic. It's so fun.
And
Yeah.
it's multifaceted too.
Oh yeah,
that's-
it's not just romantic. Let me just put that out there. Love magic and love witchery is not all about romantic love and finding a partner. In fact, I would even argue the opposite. Love magic is about self-love and all of its facets. And romantic love, yes, it's nice, but you can't force someone to love you, which is why a love spell, you want to do it to attract love. You don't want to do it on a specific person because, as I like to say, let's not start off a marriage with a kidnapping.
Truth. Very true. Yeah, I think that's the thing with like love, and that's the thing with, I want to say, a lot of these types of witchcrafts once again is that they're not only are they all connected in some way, shape, or form. It's also the fact of like there are so many different types of what it is. There are different types of water and sea. There are different types of technology that you can use. There are different types of crafts that you can have. There are different types of love that you can focus on. And especially when it comes to romantic love, that's where the version of consent really comes in, because when it comes to love in general, there needs to be consent. And you can't force someone to be attracted to you. You can only
If they don't want tea, don't force them to drink the tea.
Thank you.
So it's really important, as you said, to kind of, instead of having that, it's attracting things to you. Like, the focus here is like the magic of attraction, self-love, healing heartache, and nurturing all forms of healthy relationships. So you can also draw healthy relationships to you and relationships that serve you. You can draw that attraction. It's not saying what type of person it's going to be, but it is explaining what type of love you want.
It can also show you what kinds of love to cut out of your life and what kinds of people to avoid, or like, oh, you're in this relationship for this reason. Well, that's not really actually a good relationship for you. Cut them out. You will be better than what you are now.
Yeah.
Trust me, the amount of times I have told people, hey, this isn't the right relationship for you. And the amount of times I've gotten, yeah, but he's going to change. Oh, but it's going to get better. Oh, but it's fine. And I'm over here like, sure it is, as I hide the death card.
And then you also have the, oh, I can fix him.
No, you can't. Stop being a construction worker. He's got a whole pit crew already.
Yeah, I think that is a very important thing.
But
You
so all
can't-
these different types. Sorry, I cut you off.
really quick. You can't force anyone to change.
No.
It has to be of their own volition. And at some point, you're going to have to let go and let them do that.
And I like to think of that also with the whole, don't think about the person that you're with don't think of what they could be. Are you happy with who they are now?
Right.
Ooh.
Because
Right.
they could or they could not change. It's
Right.
all up to them.
But that's where you're at now.
So all these different types, as you say, kind of all wrangle into eclectic witchcraft, which is kind of what most, if not all, witches are.
To some extent.
Right. Well, and eclectic, not in the sense, because I know eclectic can also be used as a solitary witch. That can also be a term for it. So you can have eclectic parts because it's about the individual path of a person, but and still be a part of a coven. You just might not be an eclectic witch.
Right.
Yeah, what we mean by eclectic is kind of a person who personalizes their path with different draws from multiple traditions and creates their own unique individual space.
So then instead of calling myself a freelance witch, I really should have been calling myself an
Eclectic.
Thank you. That is one word I don't think I'll ever be able to say.
Eclectic.
Yeah, because that's what most amount of witches are. They tend to call themselves as an eclectic witch because a lot of times you're pulling from a whole lot of different areas, and that's fine and that's okay. You don't have to put yourself in a goddamn box.
Yeah,
No.
it all just ties in again.
Right.
It's like eclectic witchcraft is really just witchcraft. It's going to be what you make it. So it makes sense that eclectic witchcraft is it's its own. It's its own path that it's kind of like the umbrella of like witches.
All the different
and
little
witchcraft.
types have this overarching umbrella of eclectic.
Yeah, but so many people use eclectic witchcraft as that, more so to like define solitary witch now.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's grown to become rather than also just individual and mixing traditions. Just because it like gives them kind of like that kind of, I don't have a coven yet, or I'm not a part of other people yet.
It's also because so if you're in like a witchcraft community, right, we all know the fact that most of us are probably pulling from different areas, right? And you're not getting asked the question of, oh, what kind of witch are you, right? A majority of the time when you're getting asked what type of witch are you, it's usually by someone who's not a part of the community.
True.
So it's easier to be like, oh, I'm this kind of witch. Oh, I'm a love witch. Oh, I'm a hearth witch and everything like that. Just as an easy definition for the general public.
The general public really like putting us in little boxes.
Well, but isn't that like that's the whole thing? So when it
That's
comes
society.
right, I was like, when it comes to humans like labels. We like to be able to have something that we can say, this is what it is.
Yep.
And it's once again where it's like moderation and double-edged sword, because it's one of those where it's like if you get too technical and too many labels, then you kind of like lose, like you feel like you do have to like draw straight lines versus like having like labels, but also like knowing that you're not like
They're fluid.
Right. Like, humans are never going to be just one thing.
No.
Nope.
You will never be just one thing.
Ever.
You have many roles, you have many hobbies, you have many relationships. It's like there are labels for what type of relationship or what the hobby is, but there's still, it's
Much like the fractured radiance.
all and one.
We're all fractured, and it's all one light to many truths.
It's all different and it's all connected.
We're all one
Basically.
person, but we wear many different hats.
Yep.
Oh, that is fair.
So I like to think of like the label of like a ceremonial witch or love witch or anything like that. I like to think of that as like what I focus on mostly.
Your major.
Right, yeah, it's my
That's
major.
literally what I was just thinking.
So
I remember.
like right now I'm majoring in ceremonial witchcraft, and that's what I'm tending to do more often, and that's what I'm studying and what I'm reading about and everything like that. But hey, maybe next year I decide, hey, I'm going to be a kitchen witch for a little bit. That's not going to happen. I already had that phase, but it could happen.
Well,
Doubtful.
and as we have said, the type of witch can change because maybe you change your major. Maybe you feel like you've done enough ceremonial witchcraft, or is that you've learned enough, and so you want to major in something else, learn something else.
Or you're going undeclared for a while until you find that one class that really just speaks to you. And then, boom, suddenly you're a crafting major.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So, as we wrap up, I would like to say any updates that we have for people.
yes, I have one.
Go for it.
So recently, right after building my little altar that's in my dorm room, I have made, it came with I have a little crystal ritual kit like box thing.
Yeah.
And that has like a little dish on it that you can put your crystals on. And so for the last 2 weeks, I had citrine on it for a while. And there were I was getting complimented a lot more in the beginning.
Oh.
And then it was also like helping my body. And so then after at some point, I'm pretty sure I was like, you know what? I want to try and put like some selenite with this because that way it can cleanse the crystal. It also does the meanings with it and whatnot. And so I put the selenite with it and I leave it there for a couple days. And then as I think to go and change out crystals again, I go and I grab my citrine. And to me, I noticed that it is a lot less...
Vibrant.
Yes, like a lot less colorful than it used to be. And maybe I'm
Ain't
crazy.
that interesting?
Right, like maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it was actually just that same shade, and it's just
Right.
because I haven't like looked at it in a bit. But it was definitely weird because it looked like a lot of its like energy had been taken.
That's really interesting.
That's really interesting.
I know.
So my update would be going back to the book that I am currently reading, which is the
Love
Pagan
that book.
Prayer Ritual and Rituals. As I said, I'm diving more into my ceremonial witchcraft, and with that, this book has been amazing in that sense. I've only just gotten through chapter 1, which, as I said before, was about sacrificing and offerings, and I went into the history of so it's all in an exchange, right? So you wouldn't want to do something for somebody else if they just kept calling you and asking you for help and not giving you anything.
It's like the one friend that keeps asking you for money and then never does anything in return.
Yeah. And then also treats you a little like shit. I'm kidding.
No,
But-
we love our thing.
No, but it's kind of like those kind of people, and you don't want to be like that with your deities or spirits or ancestors. And so offering something or pouring out one of the things that I was being read about and everything was pouring out like a drink or something for that deity and putting in the actual sacrifice, because the whole thing is you're giving this to them, but it's like a king and a peasant, right? So the peasant gives the king a cow, right? And then the king will give then that person 100 gold coins for that cow because they are in a higher station. It's the same with these spirits and these entities, where if I am asking for a blessing and I sacrifice one cow, then my whole herd is blessed, right?
Right. It's kind of like, if humans weren't so selfish and greedy and actually gave reciprocity for what they have. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that's like, I mean, with the Eldritch Isles, I already had that as like a thing, and with alchemy, it's also a major thing. And reciprocity is great, guys. I love the trade. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, and it's even in like human psychology, where it's like if you, it's the same as like, for example, when we do the pay it back through the drive-through. It's a version of reciprocity because something was given to you or taken care of for you, so you want to do the same to the person behind you if you can.
Which I think more and more people are lacking nowadays, honestly.
I would agree.
Not to sound like a boomer, but
Right,
you know.
I would agree, and I also want to keep that hope for humans though, because we are all multifaceted beings and we want the best for ourselves, and I think that some people just have to come back to that. For the best for ourselves, we also have to give our best for others.
Right.
It's
No,
all
I agree.
It's all connected. But
Surprising no one.
But yeah, no, so you were also talking about your pagan prayer and ritual, so I guess an update along with that is that last night I decided to try and use kind of what you were talking about and giving, especially since I'm an elemental witch, trying to play into that and give some like water, and also asking it to like use the water for what water's association is, like to purify the house, to cleanse it, and to protect it. So that definitely could be what the smoke was.
Yeah, we talked about a train photo.
Yeah, we were just showing a train photo, and it looks like the black smoke coming from it. Maybe they just used a lot of smoke and during that one thing, because it doesn't look like it's there anymore. So.
Yeah, so I think it was the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, so I decided to kind of like pour the water into like this little sunflower bowl that I had made like 2 years ago now. That was supposed to be for Zeus, but then we kind of ended that relation.
You and deities do not have a
Yeah.
good track record.
The only long-standing working with deity that I had for a while was Zeus, and that came to an end when I began college.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Yeah, and then I'm over here. Deities, and I forget to talk to them a lot, it seems. And
you just
it's like,
forget.
yeah, I have a bad habit with forgetting, it
You'll
seems.
work at it. You'll get it. You know, you'll be able to build a system and talk to them. That's the whole point of witchcraft.
Yeah, but
Plus,
I definitely...
maybe it's just not your way. Maybe deities aren't your thing like they weren't for her.
It's possible, and it's like I do think I like having an altar for them, but I also don't think I'm gonna work with them in the way that I think I wanted to, at least not for a while, until I can figure out a better way for myself to talk with them and actually keep up with that, because I do feel bad that I keep forgetting to talk to them and keep sending them to quote unquote voicemail, but that's why I think I like doing a lot of the sigils and the crafting a lot more, as it's like something for me to actually do, and it's something that I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. I have this deadline and that kind of thing.
Physical.
Fair. Yeah. It presents a physical like reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I used water and it was pretty cool.
Nice. I don't really have any updates other than the crafting witch thing. And we did have that weird like bird thing fall out of the like tree.
Yeah, that also happened last night, where as we were talking about like crafting witchcraft and everything, there was a very like, I'm guessing that we like maybe the bird was sleeping and we startled it or something like that.
I don't
because
know.
it made like a bunch of bird noises and flew out of the tree. It was so crazy.
It was so weird. And then when I came back inside, because I had crouched down to get my dog from outside, and when I came back inside, there was a leaf on me. That was the same leaf that I had noticed on the tree earlier, and I had like picked up and was like, oh, this is cool. And then I placed it back as like here you go, you can have it back now. But then it was on my shoulder when I came inside.
He wants you to have the leaf.
I know, I think it did.
The tree gave you the leaf back.
I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. What is happening?
Right. Well, and then I know Dragon and I think all three of us actually are in for an interesting fall break due to a reading that we had last night. We're going to apparently notice some things and get some signs. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think I really like using that rune combination of the stones and the bones, because the stones is like for the generalness of it, but I like using the bones as like what are the warning signs? What are like the signs to like pay attention to, or like, and
Right.
like, here are like the things you need to see kind of
Right.
kind of thing.
I
That's
know
fair.
I know for us last night it turned into like a path in
Mhm.
choosing. So
Mm-hmm.
very interesting.
Yes.
Honestly, that's the beautiful thing about it all, is that the craft is not a monolith. I mean, it's a vast living forest, and every witch walks their own path through it.
Yeah, hearing about others' paths doesn't change like where and who you are on your own. It gives you more colors and ideas to paint with.
It's honestly just a big gathering of a like magical potluck of like experiences and techniques and things that everybody kind of brings their own experiences to benefit the whole of the like group, of the coven, of the community.
So, we encourage you to explore. Borrow from the Green Witch's Garden, the Cosmic Witch's Stars, and the Kitchen Witch's Hearth. Let your practice be as unique as you are.
Your path is yours alone. Don't let anyone, including us, tell you otherwise. Just be safe about it.
And make sure that it is a path that you do want to do for your own sake. Don't let other people try and dictate what your path is going to be. You're the only one that can choose what you follow.
The circle is open, but unbroken. May your path meet ours again. Until then, stay curious, stay grounded, and when in doubt,
Light the damn candle.